10 common fears and phobias in dogs. Along with human beings, animals also suffer from fears and phobias. There are many fears and phobias that a dog suffers from. The phobias or fears in dogs can be anything. There is a negative effect of these phobias on the dog. The causes of different types of phobias can be suffering from a lack of socialization early, or it can be a negative experience. Fear of thunder. The fear of thunder is called astrophobia, and it is very common in dogs. Every dog that suffers from astrophobia suffers from it with different degrees than other dogs. Some dogs can have a mild fear of thunder. If they have a mild fear, then they slightly tremble. You can observe that their ears flatten and their eyes widen. You can also observe that their tail tucks during a thunderstorm. Fear of fireworks. The dogs suffer from the fear of fireworks. They tremble when they hear loud, unpredictable sounds. The displays of light in fireworks cause a dog to tremble. They run away and become lost. You can try to eliminate their fear of fireworks by letting them get used to the sound of the fireworks. Fear of being left alone. Fear of being left alone is also called separation anxiety. The dog that suffers from the fear of being left alone exhibits destructive behavior when its owners leave the house. They bark excessively when left alone, and even housebreaking accidents are observed. In such a situation, the dog owner can change their behavior, which will help ease the fear of the dog. Fear of the veterinarian. The dogs become fearful about the trip to the veterinarian. They have this fear as they encounter strange smells, they are handled differently, they are being restrained, and they are getting vaccinations. Fear of riding in the car. Some dogs have a fear of riding in the car. This fear is usually caused when there is less exposure to a car ride in the early stage of their life. There are other causes for this fear. They might get car sick. They are given a ride so that they can be left in a shelter, or they are riding in the car to visit a veterinarian. Fear of going up and down stairs. Some dogs fear going up and down stairs. This becomes evident when they stop and approach the stairs. The main cause of this phobia is the lack of early exposure and lack of socialization. When the dogs were a puppy and if they weren't encountered stairs, they developed the fear of stairs later in their lives. Fear of men. The dogs have a common fear of men. They would develop this fear if a man abused them. The other cause of this fear is the lack of socialization. The dog may be afraid of men's larger builds, deeper voices, and facial hair if they do not spend much time around them. Using a non-threatening method, the fear of men in dogs should be desensitized. Because of this fear, some dogs may snap. Fear of specific objects. Some dogs suffers from the fear of specific objects. That can be anything like a child's toy, a vacuum cleaner, or any equipment. This is not a big fear, as you have the flexibility to move the object from the site that triggers the phobia of specific objects in the dogs. It is important to understand the signs of fears and phobias in the dogs to help them feel less pain and get better. The dogs should be properly taken care of. The dog owners should personally try to help their dogs overcome their fears and phobias.